Hi, I'm Jamie, I'm the CTO of Flaunt Digital. We're going to be reviewing a tool called Bitbucket today. So Bitbucket is a really important tool that we use at Flaunt Digital, and what it does is it allows you to manage your source code. So you've probably all heard of one of the big players in this space called GitHub. So it's a massive tool, and Bitbucket is essentially very similar to GitHub. GitHub's name implies that it uses Git, which is true, and it's the same for Bitbucket, so even though Git's not in the name, it's the same thing. What Git does, it allows you to run commands on the command line, or you can even integrate it into your favourite code editor like Atom or NetBeans, for example, and that'll allow you to commit and push and pull changes, and allows you to collaborate in a team and make sure all your source code's in sync. So that's just the start of it. I mean, source code management does a number of things that are really useful for development teams, such as allows you to deploy your changes to a staging server. And then you can manage your deployment pipeline, you can put it to staging, to live, to production. It also does much simpler things which people take for granted, like just saves your code somewhere external. So a lot of these services, particularly GitHub and Bitbucket, offer cloud services whereby all your source code's stored elsewhere. So you can host these things in-house. So GitHub, Bitbucket and a lot of other competitors, GitLab, etc. offer in-house solutions. You can also do it yourself if you like, but that would also mean putting the code on your own server, which has problems in case failure of your hardware or anything like that. Another really important facet of source code management is if you've got a client that's interested in the development side, so sometimes you might be collaborating with an off-site development team, they often want exposure to the source code that you're doing and the changes that you're making. So it's totally granular, you can see exactly which lines have changed, added, removed, amended, etc. And that's really useful for clients that are interested in that kind of stuff, especially if they've got their own in-house development team that you're working with. It's also interesting for clients that want to see, what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it. You get some clients a bit more technically astute, so they like to see that kind of stuff. In terms of feature set, Bitbucket really, as I described, uses Git for source code management, so it's got all the features that Git uses in terms of commits, stashing, branches, forks, you name it, all standard source code management features that have been around for years and years and years. A lot of these things started off with a management tool called SPM. It's pretty old school, but then the man that invented Linux brought along Git, and then ever since Git's been about, it's been so much better. It's a distributed system. So all those features are in Bitbucket by default, but then you've got other things laid over the top. So if you're using a normal Bitbucket cloud service, you've got obviously a web UI to manage your stuff. You can log in. You've got SSH key authentication, you've got loads of tools as well that are integrated with it. So another good thing about Bitbucket as opposed to the competitors is Bitbucket's now part of the Atlassian suite. So Bitbucket was acquired by Atlassian about 5 years ago. You may have heard of Atlassian, they're a massive enterprise software company from America, doing really well. They've got a tool called Jira, which is really popular in enterprise. That allows us to manage tasks and projects and clients. And that integrates with tons of stuff already, so now it's sat within that suite, you've got all these integrations. We've also recently acquired a tool called Trello, which is really popular. So that's like a Kanban board basically, but you can do to-do lists, and clients love that as well, so integrates with that too. And that's a really big acquisition for them, because one advantage of a Bitbucket that GitHub's had historically is the issue system. So that allows you to, it's really useful for open source projects especially, because it allows everyone to chip in and put their issues in there, and developers can tick it off and say, oh, it's been merged in, pull requests here for that, etc. And it's really good. But now Atlassian's got Trello built in, you can bring that into Bitbucket. They've sort of got that covered now, which is a really clever acquisition for them. That's a lot of features that clients love, and everyone knows Trello already, people have got accounts there, so that's great. Other competitors, so I know I've mentioned GitHub a lot, but there's GitLab. There's also a few other ones, some really old school ones that are still chugging along that people sort of dying out a little bit now. But the thing is with Bitbucket now, it's part of that Atlassian suite, it's more of an enterprise solution. So GitHub's much more open source focused, and that's represented in the pricing structure as well, which I'm going to get onto in a minute. So what you get with pricing structure it's quite a tight Yorkshireman. This type of thing is really important when you're choosing your tools, because the last thing you want to do is get embedded into a tool that's quite hard to move out of, and then the pricing rockets up. So we've got quite a small development team at Flaunt Digital, so the pricing structure really has to be represented in that. So only a few years ago the pricing structure for these tools was based on the amount of repositories you had, and that's not an indication of how big your development team is. So GitHub and Bitbucket have realised this, and they've flipped it on its head now, and they charge you per user rather than per repository. So that's a really important move, because that means that with a small team you can basically use things for free, but as soon as you start growing your team, obviously you're starting to earn more money and get more clients on board, they can start charging more money, which makes sense. Because even if you've got a small development team, you might need 50 repositories. Because at Flaunt Digital, we've worked on I think we've got about 60 repositories in our Bitbucket account. Before I used to get charged per repository. Because we've got a small team, you'd have to pay a lot more money. But now it's a bit different, and even with a small team, you can have as many repositories as you want and still pay a small amount of money, which is definitely the way to do it. And this, I think Bitbucket made that pricing change first, and I think GitHub followed straight after, or vice versa. But one key difference here is GitHub changed recently, I can't remember, a couple of years ago. And even for one private repository, you've not now got to pay a small fee. Whereas with Bitbucket, you can have as many private repositories as you like, up to 5 users. And I think once you get to 5 users, you start paying, it's nothing for 5 users, and then up to 10 users, you pay $10. Whereas GitHub, it's basically, if you want a team account, so you want your organisation name on there, which obviously looks much more professional, you've got to pay $25 straight off the bat. That gets you 5 users, and then if you want to have some more users, it's $9 per user. So if you put that into perspective, if you want 10 users on a GitHub organisation account, you're going to be paying 25 plus 45, so you're going to pay $70 a month. Whereas on Bitbucket, if you want 10 users on an organisation account, it's just going to be $10. So that's a big difference. If you've got a team of 10, you're looking at a difference between $10 a month and $70 a month, which is massive. And like I say, it's pretty much like for like feature-wise. So as long as you can deal with using a sort of slightly less popular, less well-known system in Bitbucket, because obviously GitHub's really well-known, everyone's got a profile there already, then it's really a no-brainer. If you use the other tools that Atlassian Suite offers, i.e. Jira or Trello, it's also really, really tightly integrated now, and that's going to become more and more tight as well as the development cycle continues with that software. And that's about it. Like I say, take homes from this little review, Bitbucket is definitely an enterprise solution, and that's exactly how Atlassian have angled it, because they know they can't compete with GitHub on open source. So GitHub's still totally free for open source. You can have as many public repositories as you want. Everyone's got a profile there, everyone knows it, people use it in job interviews and on the CV and all sorts, so it's a really, really widely known piece of kit. But Bitbucket know that with Atlassian they've got the enterprise market already, so they're going to continue to integrate their existing tools like Jira, and they're just going to bring in their customers that way. And because they're so competitive on pricing too, especially for small teams, it's really easy to get into it as a small team. And because the pricing goes up quite shallow, it's also, it's alright as the team grows, whereas GitHub's quite sharp. Like I say, you've got 5 users for $9 a month. As soon as you've got 10, it's 70. So it's 6 times more, 7 times more money per month, quite quickly. So you've just got to be cautious of that if you're going to start using GitHub in enterprise. That's all, and I hope to do another review of another tool soon. Thanks.